Hello, humans. When will we get Honkai anime? Don't know. Ugh. Ameth $1 billion in JP. $1 billion is, I think, 6 million USD yen. I mean, I can check. How much is 1 billion yen to USD? 6 million. She's the first ever Wuwa character to do that. Really? That's pretty cool. Second is cart on 850. I thought Chisa might be competitive in JP sales.
You can count on me. Warning. Insufficient power supply. Descending.
What's going on? Nothing much.
Insufficient power supply. Right on target.
Yeah, I can clear Weewa with this team now. Literally 2 characters. This S3 Amy and my S6 cart. Now I just need a third DPS for TOA, and I need to build Donjin for the side towers, and I'm like good to go. The next character I invest in on this account is probably going to be the Annie one, Hiyuki. That's what she's called. It's so nice, man. I'll eventually get her S6 too. Well, I could go... I guess I could go one of 2 routes, actually. But I think I'd prefer to get Hiyuki. But I could probably get I could probably guarantee S5, but I don't think I'd be able to guarantee S6 for Ameth on Annie. If I decided to go for more of her copies instead of the Annie character. Are you going to pull Ameth weapon on her rerun after getting her S6? No. That'd be like probably on her second or third rerun. There's no way I can get that much in 2 patches. You think she reruns on Annie? Brother, what do you think happened on the last Wu anniversary? Every banner in the game reran except for the characters in the patch right before. And the patch right before the anniversary is Sigrika, not Ameth.
You can count on me.
During her second or third rerun? Yeah, probably. Usually, I wouldn't consider the weapon, but you have to think about undiluted increases sometimes, right? I'm pretty sure Ameth won't rerun either. No, they will rerun her. It doesn't matter. This is like saying Lotta wouldn't have reran on the last anniversary. But Lotta reran, even at the time, as the strongest DPS in the game.
Count on me.
Brant reran as well. Like, it doesn't matter.
Roving among the stars.
Kartethia rerun was after 1 year. Kart's rerun was like 5 patches later. But once again, there was no anniversary. Like, I don't know why you're bringing this up, dude. Kart came out after the anniversary, so she can't be part of the anniversary rerun banners. Ameth came out 2 patches before the anniversary, so she would be in the rerun banners. That's just how it goes.
Roving among the stars.
My brain is folding. It's your fault. It's okay. Can't new players get any new character on the starter banner or just 1.x units? Starter banner? Oh, you mean that banner they give you for like a month when you make a new account? It's only 1.x characters, and the only one with value is SK. On this account I didn't pull because I was going like hard on Cart. So my only limited characters are Cart and Amy. This SK is something I'm getting borrowed for this returnee event. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, getting the weapon is going to matter after I get her S6, because I need that undiluted increase from the res shred. Because the weapon only being like a 23% damage jump, like that's kind of mid, right? Like her weapon is not really necessary in the slightest. Because if you look at an S0 Ameth, you add the weapon 20% jump, like you're getting a couple 100,000 more damage. It's not the biggest game changer. But when you have like a character S6, and from what I've seen, she becomes 3x as strong at S6. This, what used to be, you know, a 20% jump, only being, let's say, like a couple 100,000. Now it's like nearing a milli. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to grab the weapon eventually, but S6 comes first. Yeah, she has some of the best weapon refinements in the game, because it stacks 5% fusion res shred and like a little bit of defense ignore every single time. I don't think I'd go for R5 though. R5 is like, I don't know. That's something I'd think of maybe doing on like the next anniversary. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I'd probably think of doing that. Not now though. Right now, I want to get a Hiyuki and more sequences on Ameth. Is it good to pair E1 Triby with Sparksy? It's the next best option, but it's not good if you don't have Yao Guang. But it'll work probably until Yao Guang gets her rerun. If your goal is simply clearing, it'll work. Giga Whale territory? Yeah, but it's also like semi worth it in this game, right? Like, I'd say the closest to like Ameth weapon sequences is Phanon in HSR. But in HSR, it's like you have that 75-25. So running the risk of losing and having to go like double the pity just to get the guaranteed on Lycone banner sounds terrible. But because in this game it's guaranteed, it's simply a matter of like how early you get it, which makes it a lot easier to get weapons refinements. Earth 3.2 will be a filler patch? Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah. It's only Sigrika, and there's only one small map addition apparently. So, definitely going to be a sleeper patch right before the anniversary.
Roving among the stars.
Filler patch for optimization? I mean, like, what's giving you hope that they're going to spend the patch on optimization? I mean, I'd agree, but they haven't done any storage optimization despite the complaints for it for like the last year. I doubt they're going to start now. No, I agree it's a good time to do it, but like they don't even have a track record of this. The max amount
Roving among the stars.
that you can optimize space for in Wuwa, from what I've seen, is like you can remove 6 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes max maybe. And that's it. Their optimization thing is like so bad. Yeah, Wuwa Anniversary is about to have an insane amount of banners. Pretty cool though. I'm not pulling any of those reruns though. Well,
Faster in my
then again, I haven't seen Hiyuki. Like, I'm so confident I'm gonna pull and like her, but she legit hasn't even had an appearance. But just off of the description of her, I really feel like I'm gonna fold, and especially because she's an Annie unit, definitely gonna get a favorable treatment in terms of design and animation. So you might want Chisa for Ameth. No, I'm good, dude. This AIM SS3. I don't need no fucking teammates. I'll just mold resetting until I don't die and I clear.
Roving among the stars.
Do you think Scar will still release? I don't think so. I think currently the consensus among the majority of leakers is there is no more Scar in this version. Which, once again,
Roving among the stars. You can count on me.
the Wuwa leakers are fucking garbage. Like, holy shit. They really are just 50-50 on leaks. To be honest, they might be more negative than positive, but yeah, if Scar was coming to the game, he should have been in 3.5. Was like the original theory. But now the leak is that in 3.5 it's Yang Yang SP. So if that's the case, no Scar. And then 3.6 is a Senrez. If you look back at Step Leaks roadmap.
Roving among the stars.
Actually, how much does the weekly subscription give? Is it even worth it? I didn't even look at it when they added it. It's 14 pulls for $10. Is that better than the battle pass? I don't think so. I mean, it's probably better pulls wise, but value wise? The battle pass is 9 pulls. So it's a 5 pulls difference, but the battle pass gives you a metric fuck ton of other shit. That's kind of an underwhelming weekly, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty underwhelming.
You can count on me. Come on, little one. Blade leads the night. Herald burst in light. Lightly. Stars shine tonight.
Yeah, you trade 5 pulls, but like you get way better shit for leveling characters and stuff. The weekly sub would be better if it was legit like even just 20% cheaper. And for some reason, I've actually heard this weekly sub you can only purchase once a patch. Yeah, I've heard you can only purchase this once a patch, which is like why? But I mean, I guess, man. I thought it's every week. No, it's like a weekly subscription, but the weekly subscription just means you get the stuff over a week, and then you can't purchase it for the rest of the patch. It's too high value? I mean, it's like
Roving among the stars.
14 pulls for $10. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because like technically, if you don't have a double bonus, 50 pulls is $100. So you can hit 50 pulls with only 4 $10 weeklies. So like it's more than half as cheap if you were to be able to spam the weekly subscriptions. But it's like, I mean, give us something, man. Please, for the low spenders. Like,
Roving among the stars.
I know no one would ever spend on the thing again, but come on. I mean, gacha prices have always been just a stupid scam. It's genuinely disgusting. I don't know how there isn't laws around it. Like, it's so surprising to me they still don't exist.
Roving among the stars.
You can spend like $300 and still not get the character you're targeting. It's horrid. Yeah, we were just looking at it, Uni. Yeah, the reason why, cause I wanted to like double check. The reason why is because the weekly thing is technically better than even if you had double top up on something. Like it's that much cheaper. So I guess they don't want people spamming it every single week. But like even then,
Roving
I
among the
just wish they'd
stars.
make it slightly cheaper by like 20%. Cuz I'm in Canada. So like 10 USD is like 13, 14 Canadian for me. It's so annoying. So that weekly gives you 14 pulls. Monthly pass throughout an entire patch gives you about 27. So with a weekly and a monthly pass totaling about 15 USD, you get about 40 more pulls per patch. I mean, that's pretty good. That's not bad. I feel like the thing is BP still comes close though. Like BP is 5 pulls less, but you get main stats, you get crystal solvents, you get EXP, you get credits, you get mats. Like, in my opinion, BP and the weekly are actually close in value. Oh yeah, you also get tuners. Use the JP VPN method. Oh yeah, I
Roving
forgot
among the
about that.
stars.
Yeah, I guess I could try that. I'll probably buy a weekly and a monthly tomorrow because on this account, I've got some hefty goals, man. Some hefty goals. You still going for Galbrina? No.
Roving among the stars.
I'm focusing on the Annie character in Ameth. Do you think they will do another spending event for Annie? I mean, yeah. Like, the only way they don't do a spending event for Annie is if for some reason they're like, oh, we just did a spending event on 3.1, so we won't do it on 3.3, so we don't look too greedy. But like, realistically, considering last Annie had a pull event, right? Like if you used, I believe it was about 80 pulls, then you'd get some pulls back, right? I I don't know. They might bring that back, the night market. They might add a spending event. I mean, I don't care. So far, like given this current spending event, I mean it's garbage. There's no other way to put it. Now, as a new account, don't get me wrong, SK's value is incredibly high as a new account who doesn't have her. But like it's $150, man. Like, like who are they trying to fool? I'm not spending 150 on a single patch. If they counted double top up bonus, then I would consider it, but they don't count double top up on their spending event, which is like kind of annoying. Because then it would only be like technically 75 USD to get an SK, and then it's like, oh, that one's actually not that bad. Yeah, exactly, Uni. They could make a different spending event that counts double top up on Annie, and I would maybe fold. I would, probably. But if they don't do that, then it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. It's too expensive for me, personally. I'll probably do the weekly monthly pass combo every single patch and get oh, I see. So that's why they did it that way. So weekly pass plus monthly pass plus battle pass is 50 extra pulls every patch exactly. That's why they're like, "Oh, you're a low spender?" You know? Well,
Moving among the
can you
stars.
consider $25? No, it's more than that. Like about 27 and a half
Traveling
bucks
faster in my
low
next
spender
car.
every single patch? Probably not. But if you're like a mid spender, a dolphin who buys that every patch, you get an extra 50 pulls. Every patch. Damn. That's a lot. To be honest, HSR should add a weekly. I'd buy an HSR weekly on my main account because of how tight it is of whether or not I may be even able to get Sparksy. HSR should add something like that, to be honest. I did 3 monthly passes for 20 Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, uni. And it's way cheaper than like directly
You
buying.
can count on me.
Like that's about
I'm faster than
nearly
most,
30
you know.
bucks USD and you're getting an extra 50 pulls per patch. When you look at this shit without double top up bonus, it's $100 for 50 pulls. So it's kind of a no brainer, right? Like if you aren't someone who literally basically just a whale, right? If you aren't a whale, then you'd probably always prefer to just get battle pass plus the weekly plus the monthly pass over this shit because it's astronomically cheaper as a combo.
Roving among the stars.
There was a leak for a yearly subscription. Oh yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, something like that still would have been cool though. Because if the yearly subscription could be like give you jades alongside the monthly subscription, ooh, that would have been nice. That would be really really nice. You gotta be careful with a yearly sub though. Like you really gotta make sure it's probably on an account that you know you're gonna be playing on actively. I'd only get a yearly sub on probably my main account and that's it. That's probably the only one.
You can count on me.
No, free to play is definitely doable in these games, but a lot of people like bigger number and comfort. So,
Roving among the stars.
I mean, more packs is better in my opinion, Uni. And I've never really cared about spending events. The only reason I even talked about the spending event drama was because, like, straight up hypocrisy from other creators. But I've always been pretty open, like, I really don't care what a spending event has. I really don't. Like, in reality, I know I'm not gonna fold. Unless they genuinely put something absolutely generational. Like, let's say you get a free copy of legit the newest limited on, let's say, the anniversary, or you get fucking free Becca, right? At like the $50 mark. Consider me grabbed, okay? You fucking won me over. But 99% of the time, like, I'm not falling for it, dude. Like, it's not happening.
You can count on me.
I can see both arguments. I mean, here's the thing, Uni.
You know?
In my opinion, someone can rightfully not like spending events that have very great rewards if the game is a lot more predatory with its end game and like teams and weapons and shit, right? Like if Wuwa had like they kept character power levels the same, they kept sequence levels the same, but they had HSR levels of HP inflation, then making predatory spending events that give really really good rewards, then I could be like, yeah, as a free to play this shit absolutely fucking blows. But like free to plays can clear Wuwa completely fine. The hardest thing that you're gonna have is probably Double Pawn's Matrix. But you guys already know my opinion on Double Pawn's Matrix. I could give less of a shit. Genuinely. I really don't care about Double Pawn's Matrix, personally. So when it comes to just clearing like TOA and Weewa, I mean it's easy peasy for the most part. You have two of your strongest DPSs, and then you can use like one half-ass DPS for the fourth floor of both side towers, and then you can just use a Don Jin team against the rest of the side tower floors, and you're done. Bam. HSR spending events have also been dog shit. Shit is trash.
Roving among the stars.
If they genuinely add buffed Wowo and what's it called? Buffed Wowo and Robin to that shop, I'd fold, probably. Depending on where the golden token is on a spending event. You're growing really fast? Yeah, I noticed like in the past couple days I got like 100 subs. But I don't even know why.
You can
I mean, I guess what it is, what it is. Isn't there 6 middle floors? No, there's 4. In TOA, there's 4. There's 2 really easy ones, and then the last 2 are like basically kind of like MOC 12 and HSR. Like there is a massive spike from the first 2 middle floors to the last 2. Where to find HSR leaks now that the Reddit doesn't have leaks posted? Your only chance is probably downloading Telegram, linking your phone number, and then trying to find channels of the few leakers who are left that may put some leaks there and notify you about it. And that's it. Yeah, I guess it's been the Yao Guang videos that's been getting me some subs. It's been some Yao Guang videos. I mean, it's like at least some people aren't stupid. I'm sorry, there's no other way I can put it, dude. Like, listen, it's okay. It's one thing to possibly believe that there's an EMC upgrade in the future. In this case, if there is, sure, right? Sure, someone might replace Yao Guang. But specifically the people who talk about Sparkle being better than Yao Guang, those are the ones I take such a large issue with. Like, they are so blind, dumb, ignorant that I must make my videos. Really sad, Pocky? There's so much doom posting in the comms of Yao Guang vids because people do not know what they're talking about. That's the thing. Even on Reddit, like I still see a few posts on Reddit sometimes just recommended to me of people asking, like, let's say Sparkle mains or Silverwolf mains, um, who's gonna be that third slot? It's leaked that Silverwolf uses Punchline, so I put Sparksy, who's gonna be the third slot. And 99% of the comments are people saying Sparkle because of SP positivity. Like they're clueless. They're absolutely clueless. Like they are genuinely LARPing as if they are like HSR meta players and understanders. But they have zero clue what they're talking about. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on a rant this time, Solus. I'm not gonna go on like a 20-minute rant this time because I've already gone through this entire thing, and I said it in my last video that I made that like the amount of energy I've had to expend over this entire Yao Guang fiasco has you know it's starting to tire me, man. I'm tired of talking about it myself. It's just so unbelievable that it's hard for me to like not talk about. You're getting a mouthful from people? I don't care, man. Like, what the fuck are they gonna say? Even if this theoretical EMC replacement comes out, it's probably near the end of the version. What are they gonna say, right? This EMC replacement is maybe 20 to 30% better than Yao Guang. You know what I'm gonna do? I didn't wait an entire fucking year for a support upgrade that may be 30% better. And if they theoretically do exist, which is already incredibly unlikely, I will just get an E1 Yao Guang. And now she's stronger than that EMC upgrade that came out a year later. Right. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, genuinely. These people are so cautious that they're forgetting to have fun. Like, they want to purposely brick their relation teams for damn near the entire version so that they can wait for a theoretical EMC upgrade. Which, by the way, should already be Yao Guang. I would like you guys to keep in mind, right? The MC in HSR has always been the first character in a version to introduce a new damage type. You had HMC, who gave the team Super Break. You had RMC, who was the first one to give true damage. But in version 4, this is the only one where the first character to introduce us into a new type of damage and damage buffing is a limited support. It's Yao Guang. She's the elation damage buffer, and she's the only one. Now, I don't think she'll be the only one, because if you look at the 4.1 beta Lycone for the Herda shop, it's EMC's Lycone, and it's elation damage buffing. So obviously this means it's likely EMC will also be able to buff Elation. But what does that mean, right? There is only one other character from 2.x who could also buff Super Break, which was Fugue, right? There was only one other. And this was the theoretical HMC upgrade. The only other character who can do true damage in base kit or buff true damage is Cyrene outside of RMC. So if Yao Guang exists and EMC also buffs Elation like Yao Guang, we've already hit the 2 requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've already hit 2. So it's either we get a first in HSR history and they make 3 characters, 2 limited, with the same, specific buffing as EMC, or what's more likely is that Yao Guang is staying in both Elation teams, whether people like it or not. She's just staying in there. Because keep in mind, everybody can generate Punchline. This is Sparksy's gimmick, but like it's not unique to her. Every single Elation character can generate Punchline. The only person with a unique buff currently is Yao Guang. There's no one else who can give Elation or Elation buffing right now at all. Well, I guess Sparksy with her Light Cone can buff Elation damage. So, vertical investment, but
You can count on me.
yeah. I don't think she's going to be best in slot for both. I mean, you can think whatever you want, but it's unlikely, no matter what you think. That's all I'm saying.
Moving among the stars.
You are going against this game's logic, its common sense, and its track record by believing otherwise. Which is like all I want people to understand. It is not common sense for Yao Guang to get replaced in either team, in all honesty. In either of them. There is a Herda Shop Cone for EMC, which allows him to buff a certain ally with Elation damage.
I'm faster in my mech, you know.
What do you think the strength levels of Evanesia and Silverwolf will be? 50% stronger than Mono Rem.
Roving among the stars. You can count on me. Feather drop.
Oh, good, Solus. Take your time, man. I mean, you already have enough to guarantee Ashvale anyways. Since we're not going the E2 Sparkle route anymore, so you can take your time.
Roving among the stars.
Hello, Gabby. I need your help. My dot team is E0 Kafka, E1 Heislands, E0 Swan. What should I get next for a good investment? E1 Swan or Heislands Lycone? Sparksy is so fun in Currency Wars. I did a Currency Wars run on my Firefly account trying to play Sparksy in it, and I didn't get a Sparksy until like damn near the last thing. Like holy shit, the luck was terrible. Thanks, no problem. Your mic is dead. Let me see. Let me see. My mic sounds fine. Let me see. My mic sounds fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with my mic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Roving among the stars.
I always increase the volume limit for your stream. I can't increase my mic volume. I've had to explain this like probably a billion times already, and it's fine, but like when like the headset software for my headset, I used to have it downloaded to increase my total like mic volume so people could hear me better, but it fucked with my PC software and it like fucked things up. I don't know. To the point where like my headset legit wouldn't work and my mic wouldn't work sometimes. So I had to delete it. Shitty software for my headset.
Roving among the stars.
Yes, Yao Guang uses the new one of the new Elation relic sets. The green one. Is your PC pre-built? Yes. I'm not looking at the Pokey and Saint drama. I don't care.
Warning. Insufficient power supply.
I hate relic farming. Yeah. My main account is about to have the toughest time because my main account is like it needs to farm relics for Yao Guang. It needs to farm relics for Sparksy. I still need to farm traces for Yao Guang and Sparksy. Like it's pretty annoying.
Roving among the stars.
I've already talked about this before and I like seriously meant it. Although sometimes I want to get my opinion out there, if misinformation bothers me enough, I hate drama content. Like, it's just miserable. It'll temporarily give a good boost. Oh, holy voice crack. Boost in views. But the viewers it attracts and, like, the idiocy that you have to deal with constantly is it's not even worth it. Like, no offense, but you can probably see it. Like, people who build their entire channels off of, like, drama farming and shit, like, they grow egos. And the egos just keep growing and growing and growing to the point where, like, they can't even recognize who they are anymore. Like, they can't recognize when they're wrong at all. And, I mean, they just go on fucking rampages, basically. Emotional rampages. They care so much about being morally correct or some shit as compared to like just admitting when they're wrong.
I'm faster in my mech
Yeah, exactly. I also like just don't care most of the time. Unless it has to do with like once again, misinformation
Roving among the
and
stars.
it's like spreading badly because a big creator said something stupid, then I won't make a video on it cuz it's like I don't know. I don't care enough. The Yao discourse isn't really drama. Yeah. The Yao discourse is like just idiocy. That's really all it is. It's just idiocy. Drama was like Phanon's
Roving among the
Phanon's
stars.
beta when when I was arguing with like Phanon mains Reddit and idiots saying that HSR never makes meta males and that they want Phanon to power creep Cassie without any best in slot teammates. They don't want him to consume AV. And they kept putting, oh my god, men get bad treatment, women get favorable treatment. They just spam that shit when they can't use
Roving
their
among the
brain.
stars.
Like, just shut the fuck up. Please. I absolutely hate people like that in these spaces. It's so annoying. Oh my god. Like they just constantly want to feel like victims and it's like come on, dude. Like let's get fucking real.
Roving among the stars.
I mean, the thing is, it's not only people on Reddit and like other places trying to doom Yao Guang. It's now also some like decently popular Twitter accounts spreading this shit as well because they don't want to pull Yao Guang. Like I've seen I think a Twitter account of like Taz or something. I seen another Twitter account with like a Dahlia profile picture. Like every day they make multiple posts about how Yao Guang won't be best in slot for Silverwolf, and they keep saying it as if it's like a definitive fact over and over and over again. And their followers are genuinely falling for this. And shit gets like tens of thousands of views, thousands of likes. Like because their followers are just they can't think for themselves.
Roving among the stars.
The thing you need to understand, Hotshot, listen, this argument is useless. Like genuinely. This shit is useless. This entire argument of oh, they're giving us free characters because there's going to be power creep in this and this. There's always power creep. There's always HP inflation. In fact, if you look at HP inflation percentage wise, comparative to how strong the characters are, 2.x had more HP inflation than 3.x, despite 3.x having the golden token, free archer, free Don Hung PT. Right. Like, despite all the free characters that they gave us in that version, they still had less total HP inflation percentage wise as compared to 2.x. So, is there going to be HP inflation and power creep? Yes. However, them giving us more free characters or additions to the Golden Shop does not at all, like, it's not proof that they're going to increase HP inflation and power creep more than ever before. That's not a thing.
I'm faster in my mech, you know. Roving among the stars.
Whoa, whoa, especially after getting buffed, will probably be best in slot for all elation teams. But it's a temporary best in slot. Like, I'm sorry. People who think they're not going to make an elation sustain are basically saying that they believe buffed Wowo is about to be best in slot for the entire elation path. And while that sounds really cool, that sounds really convenient, let's get real. Okay? That shit is not happening.
Roving among the stars.
But yeah, buff Twilio will be best in slot just because of
You know?
energy gen and attack buffs. I don't have any predictions for 4.1 reruns. I don't even want to think about that right now. They could rerun Cyrene. They could literally rerun anybody who ran in 3.7 on 4.1.
Feather drone, assemble. I'm faster in my mech, you know?
You'd be surprised by how many people think they aren't going to make an elation sustain out of pure cope. Yeah, I could see a Fei Xiao rerun in 4.1 for sure. That's like the most obvious one probably. Because of Asheville.
Come on, little one. I'm a trans protection. Ready.
Is it bad I don't want to see an elation sustain after Hyacine? I mean, that's just personal preference, dude. I really don't care what sustain they make. I'll just pull for it anyways. I'm a best in slot team guy, so it makes no difference to me. Also, like, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'd already know my thoughts on Hyacine. The most overrated character from 3.x, and it's not even close. Holy shit.
Roving among the stars.
Oh my god.
All baddies will burn.
What's wrong with Hyacine? Hyacine, she's good for her niche, but the way people talk about her and her like wheelchair team outside of HP scaling teams, it's now dog shit. Like it isn't good. Like you don't use Hyacine in any 4.x DPS's team at all. She's an SP black hole. She gives max HP buffs, which 99% of people don't give a shit about. Her sub DPS that used to be impressive is now beaten by like Yao Guang elation skills, which I already saw coming. Like people who rate certain characters in terms of damage and not utility like Dan Heng PT always end up biting the dust every single time for underestimating utility. Like this is Gallagher all over again, kinda. Where like Gallagher when he first released, people were like, "Oh my god, this character's ass. He doesn't give me buffs like Quoho," right? And then when people found out how much his SB positivity allowed you to use skills on other characters on the team, they realized like, "Holy shit, this guy's actually the free to play goat," right? Hyacine is like the opposite of a Gallagher. She has zero fucking utility, and she's a sitting duck who does a little bit of damage generally. That's literally all she can do generally outside of HP scaling teams. It's terrible. It's garbage.
Feather drone.
The amount of people I had to deal with saying that Hyacine would be like more, valuable going into the future than Dan Heng PT. No, no, no. No, no, no. Her vertical investment though, I think Dan Hung PT has stronger vertical investment. You get an E2 Dan Hung PT, and anybody's clearing Pure Fiction. Like, you put Dan Hung PT with anybody, anybody's clearing Pure Fiction. And then you also get res pen buffs. You get Gallagher levels of SP positivity. You get attack buffs. You get the summon, shit like that. You get double the shields now, so sustaining is like the easiest thing in the world.
Moving among the stars.
And best of all, Dan Hung is free. At least at E0. Her value becomes better when she gets Eidolons. I mean, yeah.
Among the stars.
Yep. E2 Dan Hung. Okay, here's the thing about Hyacine, right? When it comes to E2 Hyacine, you could have like an E5 Cassie. Her damage wouldn't increase from Cassie's Eidolons. But when it comes to Dan Hung PT, what makes this guy the GOAT, and why E2 is like so good for some characters with vertical investment, the dragon's damage partially scales off of the original character's damage it's connected to. So like people in my chat were taken aback by this. I think like a few days ago when I showed them on my E6 Anoxa account. If I use Dan Hung PT with my E6 Anoxa, keep in mind my Dan Hung PT is E0S0 and midly built, right? So the first dragon that goes off with full buffs with a Sunday and an E1 Tribi plus my Anoxa, 4 targets, 1 million damage. An E0S0 Dan Hung with my Anoxa, 1 dragon against 4 targets did over a milli. So with E2, that's like 2.3 with double the frequency, double the shields, and you action advance the dragon. And then you also have E1, which buffs the DPS's res pen, which would increase this even more. Gallagher levels of SP positivity. Like Hyacine doesn't have that. Hyacine has like her own fixed damage that doesn't scale off of the rest of the team. Also, once again, E2 Dan Hung is like a pure fiction demon. You pair him with like any DPS on your team that struggles with clearing pure fiction, they're gonna clear. It's like so useful for pure fiction. Pulled Yao Guang for Silverwolf and she doesn't even need Yao. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, your account.
I'm faster in my mech, you know.
Isn't 30% speed from Hyacine the biggest speed buff in the game? Yeah, but that's an E2. And the E1 is useless outside of HP scaling teams. So you're getting 3 dupes of a character, and now you finally have one useful buff outside of HP scaling teams, which is 30% speed. That's why when you're talking about like Hyacine E2 value, it always needs to be, oh my god, it always needs to be inside HP scaling teams. Otherwise, it's like, why are you even bringing this up?
You can count on me.
Outside of HP scaling team, if you put Dan Hung PT in some of these HP scalers teams, with Eidolon investment, his value would be higher than Hyacine with the same Eidolon investment on attack scalers teams. That is my point. If you put an E2 Dan Heng, even with HP scalers, you get a shit ton of attack frequency, high levels of damage alongside it. You get probably the comfiest sustain in the game at E2 because the shields are double. You get a res pen buff, and you get Gallagher levels of SP positivity. You put an E2 Hyacine outside of her niche, she's giving 30% speed. That's it. And the amount of attack scalers and people who can take advantage of Dan Heng's buffs as compared to people who can take advantage of Hyacine's kit and buffs, it's astronomical. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dan Heng can fit in way more teams than Hyacine can. Literally, the only way you use Hyacine, I guess, is like wheelchair. You know, like the only, yeah, like wheelchair with Cyrene for, what's it called? Stack Gen. Why would someone get E2 Dan Heng over E2 DPS? Because he's a general sustain. I mean, that's why. Especially if you're an Anoxa person, where his vertical investment is trash, E2 Dan Heng PT is some of his best vertical investment in the game. General characters get power crept first, and E2 Herda is weaker than Mono Rem E0 Cassie. And E2 Herda is weaker than an E0 Sparksy team. A Noxa without Cyrene is a fucking brick. A sustain, they only released 2 sustains a version. Like, what is this comparison?
I'm faster in my mech, you know.
Sparksy and Cass team is niche than Phanon. What? Phanon with E0 Sunday Sparkle Ceridra is probably like 20 million damage in a 0 cycle. That is probably as much as E2 Herda in our best in slot team. That's the least niche character of Amphorius, who can work with almost every support. So like, what's the point?
You can count on me.
Like, once again, you could go into E2 Anoxa. You could go vertical investment in Ceridra. You can go vertical investment anywhere in an Anoxa team. And you're not going to get any better verticals than Dan Heng PT's own Eidolons for Pure Fiction, which is his weakest mode and the one he struggles in the most. E2 Dan Heng is literally like, you pair this guy with almost any fucking one and you're full clearing Pure Fiction because of how often the dragon goes. And that is someone you can use on any DPS's team. Unlike DPS Eidolons, which are stuck to that DPS. This entire argument is like saying, why would I get E1 Tribby? Like, E1 Tribby isn't worth it when I could get DPS Eidolons instead. But E1 Tribby is really worth it in a lot of stainless teams. Pure Fiction runs, shit like that. You clear 40k Pure Fiction with every DPS with E2 Hyacine as well. As always, there is nuance in that an E2 Dan Heng does way more as compared to an E2 Hyacine for most DPSs. Once again, res pen buffing, attack buffing, more attack frequency, stronger shields, action advancing the dragon, Gallagher levels of SP positivity. Yeah, you'll clear with both, probably. I mean, without an AoE buffer, it's more questionable. But with an AoE buffer, probably Hyacine can do it with any DPS. But it stops there. Donung PT is leagues above of Hyacine at that Eidolon investment. You guys need to understand that Dan Heng was free. And I'm not saying you need to get E2. Okay, I'm not saying that. But Dan Heng is free, and the attack frequency of his dragon, the increased damage, everything, the res pen, the SP positivity, it is probably not going to get power crept by Pearl. Like, you guys need to understand, even if theoretically Pearl may be generally stronger, to an E2 Dan Heng PT, that's questionable. E1 Huohuo has been a fucking god-like sustain since her release. She isn't the best at sustaining, but her value is probably even greater than that of E0 Dan Heng for quite a few teams if you have an E1 Huohuo. Right? Like, they don't really... Sustains aren't DPSs. We get fucking 7 or 8 DPSs every single version. We only get 2 sustains a version. It's so much harder to power creep them. Yeah, Huohuo's about to get Nova flared as well, so she'll get buffed even further. I'm pretty sure at this point, Huohuo is like at least 2 years old. Probably more. Guys, who else is Silver Wolf supposed to use if Yao Guang isn't in her team? I'm not even gonna, for the millionth time, bring up how much better. Like, who else is she going to use? Sparkle? EMC, the hyper carry buffer for a mono elation team with a sub DPS? Like, please. I know you guys can be cautious and shit, but let's use our brains. Okay? Just use them. Think about it. Right? A team where everybody wants to do damage. Are you going to use a hyper carry buffer? Or are you going to use the dedicated elation team buffer who has an insane amount of synergy with Sparksy, who is Silverwolf's definitive best in slot.
Roving among the stars.
There isn't a single other elation buffer in this game. And the only other one is probably going to be EMC. She has an undiluted buff for elation teams.
Come on, little.
No, because like people don't use their brains, Chad. It's like fuck. Like you wouldn't even need to think twice about this shit if you could like semi understand their kids. They don't understand how a punchline works.
You can count on me.
I mean, I guess, but it's like it's not even just a punchline. Like Yao Guang has punchline. She has buff sparkle levels of SP positivity. She has the elation buffing. She has the forced aha instance, which enables more damage and shit.
Roving among the stars.
She allows you to hit 3 elation a lot easier. And then because she's a AoE buffer, everybody on the team can do some level of damage. Unlike with like Sparkle or EMC, we're only targeting one character. Oh yeah, and she's the easiest elation character to run on max speed. So it makes it easier to get Aha instant to 134 speed to act twice in both cycles of a 0 cycle. Why would a free EMC be better than Yao? He won't. Like he won't. This is what people don't understand. He won't. Because EMC himself is just a Walmart version of Yao Guang.
Roving among the stars. From the sky. Feather drone. Roving among the stars.
Like it's genuinely baffling, bro, that people think a team where everybody's supposed to be a DPS is gonna run a hyper carry buffer. Holy fuck. Holy shit. I'm not a Yao Guang defender. It's like I'm just reading her kit, man. Like this is the wildest thing about this entire discourse. It's not about like, oh, I absolutely love Yao Guang. Yao Guang's my waifu. I won't take this Doom posting for her. It is literally me reading the kit, looking at what she does with official gameplay from sponsored content creators, and people still deny what's right in front of them because they think that they're going to pull a Cassie team thing and replace the Tribby, right? Yet what Yao Guang is to them, with a future replacement. Like I don't even have to try or go into leaks for this shit. All I have to do is look at some dude's gameplay, and that's it. It's insane. It is fucking insanity. Like, I don't even care about Yao Guang. I do care about her, but not in the way so many people think. Like, I need this character for the Elation characters to function, and all three of the current Elation DPSs are some of my favorite characters in the entirety of the game. You got Silverwolf with that cool ass design. You got Yai Sakura, who I've been making videos on wanting to pull for like nearly a year at this point. And then you have Sparksy, who is the SP of my favorite character in the entirety of the game. Like, and all of these DPSs are probably going to be reliant as shit of having her on their team.
Roving among the stars.
I'm not going for Yao Guang's Lycone. Anybody who got baited into pulling Yao Guang's Lycone, hey, hope you have fun with that Lycone, dude.
I'm faster in my mech, you know.
I hope you have fun. What Lycone you using then? The free one that's only 5% worse in the MOC shop. Oh my goodness. Like, people did not learn, bro. I swear to God, people will see crit buffs in anything and think it's way stronger than it is. This is just the Sparkle Lycone situation all over again. Get fucking baited.
You can count on me.
Is Sparksy really a sub DPS? No, she's a preservation sustain. I think the energy bamboozled people. The energy is the worst part of the Lycone. And this has to be the funniest part about it all. It's a bit of an energy regeneration rate increase, and then like a little bit of fixed energy at the beginning of a new wave. So, what her Lycone does is it allows you to get her ult maybe like 15% faster. You used 80 pulls with the possibility of losing a 75-25 for some minor crit buffs and an ult that comes 15% faster.
Roving among the stars.
You forgot the speed? Speed is something you can min-max anyways. You'll probably be able to get 134 AHA instant way easier when there's 3 Elation characters.
I'm faster in my
You can't round 1 ult without Yao Guang Lycone?
stars.
I'm pretty sure Ruri Goko did it in his Zero Cycle that I used as a reference. I could look at it again, but it's like, so what? You lose like 1 turn without having uptime? Like, once again, what is wrong with you guys? You guys see like 1 turn maybe unbuffed and then think some shit's a must pull. Like, this isn't Robin. Literally all of Robin's value is tied to having her ult up. Yao Guang isn't Robin. Right. I'll check. Did he use... Let me see what Rui Goko used on the Yao Guang. Because I could have sworn he said it was like a 3 cost 0 cycle or something. Yeah, 3 limited 0 cycle. I feel like he wouldn't use Yao Guang Lycone here. And Yao Guang gets ult instantly. Does she get hit or something for energy? Okay, yeah, she does. She only needs to get hit once. Yeah, she only needs to get hit once. So Ruri Goko. Okay, yeah. So Ruri Goko still manages to get this 3 limited 0 cycle without Yao Guang's Lycone. Even though they weren't able to get Yao Guang ult on the first turn. Because you don't need to. Like, enemies will attack and shit. Yeah, he doesn't even... Okay, this is the funniest part. He gets Yao Guang's ultimate before Sparksy, and he refuses to use the ultimate. So, like, bro, fucking baited. Absolutely baited. That shit does not matter.
You can count on me.
Say it louder. I mean, like, you know, maybe it matters to someone out there. Maybe they already pulled the light cone. Like, I'm not saying the light cone is useless, but I feel bad for anyone who fell for like any propaganda of like, oh, this shit's super valuable. Like, it just isn't. The only reason you pull Yao Guang Cone is for comfiness. And by that I mean the crit rate and crit damage she gives probably makes it a lot easier to build characters on a team with no crit buffer. But that's as far as the value goes. And like a slight bit of comfort that you may get ult, I don't know, a third of a turn earlier or some shit like that. I mean, I tried to warn them. Like, I've been trying to tell people Yao Guang Lycone is buns for like at least a month, if not longer than a month at this point. Like, if some people are new viewers or they didn't see it before, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. How good is E1 Yao Guang? Really good. It's like a 30% increase for elation team damage. 25 to 30%. It's like E1 Robin. No, it's a warp calculator. That's exactly what it's called. Warp calculator. Sage said her LC is predatory because it gives Shorekeeper's entire buff in her Lycone. I don't care, man. Like, Saint has zero fucking clue what's going on in this game. Crit damage buffs and crit buffs in general are insanely diluted. How comfy do people want to play this game? I mean, as comfy as possible, probably. I mean, I'm someone who's also in the boat of like, I love getting Eidolons and vertical investment because, I mean, I don't want to actually try, you know? Like, if I have the choice between sweating in a gacha game that I play casually on purpose or just putting more investment into characters and teams, like, I'm always going to choose the more investment and play Brain Dead. Where's the fun? Big number is the fun. What do you mean, where's the fun? I have a fucking blast using my mono rem comp on both Currency Wars and the actual game. Best of all, it makes farming dailies even easier. How far are you in Currency Wars? Not far. I don't like play it outside of when there's a reset. Dailies are super quick in HSR anyway. Well, I want them to be quicker. Like Cassie's Dragon Breath killing 3 waves of enemies in a row. I like that. Mm.
You can count on me.
I'm surprised Ameth is only 2 to 5% better than Cart. I wonder why they didn't power creep. I've talked about this before. It depends on the way you look at it, Yelan. And also, I do think that when Ameth gets her Fusion Burst sub DPS on the anniversary, that she will be more noticeably strong. Like probably 10 to 15%. But what I think, what makes the difference more obvious is if you use no weapons comparison, right? Like Cart, she gets a near 40% jump from her weapon. Ameth gets like 23. Chacona's weapon is like a 13% overall team DPS increase, which that Sig alone from Chacona is equivalent to having Mornai Sig plus Lene Sig at the same time. So when you look at it as 0R1 premium team, they are similar. But if you look at it as 0R0 base across the board, then Ameth is like 10 to 15% power creep for the average player in her Toon Break team for now. Because this team is way less reliant on Sigs as compared to Carts. Isn't her Fusion Burst for Weewa? No. This is like just bullshit that's been spread. Like we don't know anything about what her Fusion Burst sub DPS does or what her Fusion Burst is meant for. Like they could just make the Fusion Burst team better, which makes sense. Because the Toon Break team, like if they don't make Ameth's Fusion Burst team better, there's no reason for it to exist. I'm sorry. Like being slightly better in Weewa isn't going to change anything at all. Having a niche Fusion Burst sub DPS doesn't have anywhere near the value Lene does. That's just obvious. There's nowhere near the value of Lene. So, my guess, at least, is that they will make her negative status team 10 to 15% stronger than the Toon Break one. Yes, Fusion Burst does AoE damage. Yes, I know this. I already know this. I've been through this. I've been through our entire beta. That doesn't mean that the Fusion Burst team is only going to be for Weewa AoE. Because if that's the case, there's no reason for it to really exist. It's not going to make significant enough of a difference, in my opinion. Like, you can't sell an entirely new team off of, oh, I'm only slightly better than Weewa. Like, no one's buying that shit, dude. Especially with those niche ass supports. By the way, for those, like, you guys need to understand, Weewa is so fucking easy, dude. Like, it's so easy. Like, who cares? You can literally use one vertically invested in team and get 4,500. Like, it is the easiest endgame mode because it requires zero horizontal investment. I think Dania will be similar to Lene but give fusion burst stacks. I'm sorry, but that is like hella delusional. That is like insanely delusional in my opinion. Making a fusion burst sub DPS as generalist as Lene doesn't make any sense at all. No, there's no new element rover in Lahai Roy. Ameth isn't getting a free-to-play teammate. They're probably saving the next rover element for the Mengzhou Senres in 3.6. Hello, Bruman. Nothing. Sequence-wise, Cart is stronger than Rupture Ameth until Ameth is S6. I mean, who cares? Sequences is sequences. I agree, though. How's your Kiyuan account been doing? Abandon that account for the new shiny toy? I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I literally can't do anything, Solus. This is like if I made a new HSR account, I got fucking E2 Yao Guang, I got E2 Evan S, or sorry, no. I get E2, no. E6 Silverwolf. No. Okay. Now I'm going to get this down. I got E6 Cassie, right? I got an E6 Cassie account. I come back, and then I get E2, well, technically E3 Silverwolf. SB. An E6 Castros account with an E3 Silverwolf SB is basically the equivalent of what this is. Like, there's no way I can just not. I'm not gonna play on the Kiyuan account. There's no point. On top of this, because of this game having a Coral Shop, I can buy 2 of Amos dupes through the Coral Shop. So I'm like guaranteed to get this woman S6 in this version. So an S6 cart, S6 Ameth, and then probably my third DPS will be Heyuki. Yeah, exactly, Yelan. The first few DPS of a version always get power crept anyways. So, but once again, I still think that Ameth's negative status team. Okay, here's what's gonna happen in my opinion. Heyuki, the Annie DPS, is going to be a new power ceiling. And people are going to, be annoyed by that. But in my opinion, it's going to happen no matter what. So this Heyuki DPS will be the new power ceiling. But Ameth, with her negative status team, will match or come very close to this power ceiling. Because the negative status team is probably going to be stronger since it's a lot more niche and the teammates have less value. They need to sell it somehow, right? So the top 2 DPSs in 3.3, which will be comparable in my opinion, will be Ameth in her negative status team, and then Heyuki. That's my guess. The next power creep would probably be the next Senrez in 3.6. Yeah, exactly, Yelan. That's my guess. I think it'll rise a little bit with Hiyuki and Amos best in slot team, and then it'll rise again with the 3.6 Senrez. Are you excited for a Cyberpunk collab? I mean, I just care about Rebecca. I really couldn't care less about anything else. I just want my Rebecca. Luke? Luke is probably going to get shafted. Like, I've seen some people coping about Luke getting a best in slot teammate over Lene. I don't think it's happening. The only time it can happen is probably one of the Cyberpunk collab characters. Otherwise, I don't think so. He's probably just going to be stuck with Lene. I actually think the reason why Lene's like, so-called general for the most part is because they wanted Lene to be best in slot for both Amos 2 break team and Luke at the same time. Maybe even more in the future, like the Annie character, but that's speculative. I mean, there's no place where they could put a Luke best in slot Yelan. And in my opinion, it's just unlikely that he gets a bet. Like, we're nitpicking this one slight anti-synergy. Which is like, would they really make an entirely new sub DPS over fucking 10 tune break boost? I don't think so, man. I really don't. I mean, doesn't Luke get tune break boost in his sequences or something? Or nah? Like, they could have just used it to sell sequences. I was about to check Hakushin, but, like, I forgot that shit's gone now, so. Now, Rebecca will be definitely be best in slot for Lucy, in my opinion. I don't think they're gonna miss out on that chance. They'll make Rebecca best in slot for Lucy, and because Lucy's banner is timed, like that's the FOMO. They're gonna give people FOMO. Also, from the leak that we got a little while back on the Wuthering Waves Reddit, the collab characters should only be on the first half of the patch of 3.4. So you only got like 3 weeks to get Lucy. Why do you name some of your streams short streams when some of them are your streaming length? Because I originally planned them to be short, but then I get carried away and I forget about it, so. We don't know if the banner is going to stay. All we know is that apparently the banner is first half according to leaks. And there was nothing else said. So they could do that, but like I'm pretty sure HSR is kind of an exception when it comes to the way they did the collab characters, so to be honest, I think it's more likely that they're only there for the patch or that first half and then they're gone. I feel like soon HSR would add the fake characters in the golden token shop. I mean, that would be cool. Their vertical investment is dog shit, so they might as well. They wouldn't lose anything from it. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Even though I'd prefer Wuwa does the collab banners like HSR, I really do think HSR is an exception with the way they did the fake collab banners. Like most gotchas just don't do that. It's probably gonna be normal. The only thing we know is that they come out on the first phase. That's the thing. We don't know how long the banners are staying. I don't know. But they are part of the first phase. That's all the leak said. So they could only be there for the first phase. They could be there for the patch. They could have longer banners. I have zero clue. Nobody knows. I think it is cope to think that the banners would be around as long as HSRs, though. I really do think that's cope. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I really feel like that's cope. I mean, did they even do this for PGR? Like, can you still get Dante and Virgil in PGR? Or did they just have normal banners? That's probably the easiest way to, like, get a glimpse into it. Let me see. How long was How long was DMC banners in PGR? 6 weeks. So they lasted the patch. So, like, that is probably the most likely case scenario. The Cyberpunk characters last the patch, and then they're gone. Yeah. I mean, maybe Wuwa can rerun them. No fucking clue. uh, do you think when Ameth Fusion Burst sub DPS releases, they'll anti-shield Toon Break to pressure Rupture Ameth players? No. They'll probably shield both. And to be honest, the reason I think this, I think Hiyuki is going to be another Toon Break character. I could be wrong, but like, since we're not getting any type of rover throughout the entirety of Lahai Roi, and Hiyuki is currently rumored to be Glacio, like, and like the common theme of every Lahai Roi character kind of having Toon Break as a part of their kit, I don't know. I feel like Hiyuki might be a Toon Break character because like there's no way they wouldn't sell a gimmick on the Annie DPS. I don't know. I feel like they'd sell a gimmick on the anniversary character. I could be wrong. But it's like, why not? Like, literally look at Zanny. Zanny was the introduction to, like, a DPS with negative status. And, I mean, it wasn't fun. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't do that this time. Yeah, they could also make her Glacio Chafe, the ice negative status. But if this is the case, she's probably not going to have her sub DPS yet. So what team do they intend you like? Would they pull an Ameth, where you can run a Toon Break team or the negative status team with her as well? I don't know. But that's why I don't think they'll get rid of Toon Rupture and like the Toon Break chilling, because they could just use it to sell like a half kit character that has that as a gimmick, like Ameth, right? Because Ameth's not getting her negative status sub DPS until 2 patches later, after from her release. So like temporarily you use the Toon Break team. Dania might be a 4-star. I don't think so, dude. That's pretty cope. The only Fusion Burst sub DPS is going to be a 4-star. That is highly cope. Definitely a limited character. Also, they are the only 2 leaked characters for the anniversary, so not my words. I heard some leaks say that. Well, those leaks are probably wrong. I'm pretty sure there's more reliable leaks on the Wuwa Reddit. I mean, I can probably check the Wuwa Reddit right now. Wuthering Waves leaks. No new rover attribute. 3.5 banner with Yang Yang. 3.2 to 3.4 roadmap. Yeah. So, reliable leak by Seal Leaks is that Hiyuki will be on the first half of the anniversary. Dania will be the second half limited. Lucia should be apparently the second half of 3.4, and the first half will be the collab characters. So Hiyuki, one patch later, gets probably Lucia, which is, I'd assume, her sub DPS, and she is Glacial Chafe. And then Dania is there as well. I didn't check Reddit, so most likely, all good. Yeah, I agree, Elon. I agree. It does make sense. I didn't know before that they already predicted Lucio would be second half of 3.4. So if that's the case, then yeah, Hiyuki is like 99% chance negative status Glacial Chafe. For those who don't know what Glacial Chafe does, by the way, it's actually like really good for skill issue players. Glacial Chafe slows down enemies and makes them move slower, which is like, whew, that sounds amazing, man. I fucking hate some of the enemies in La Roy because they move so much. Yeah, I saw some pictures of what Hiroka looked like on Twitter, and then I saved it in like notes or something. Yeah, I already saw it. Do you have skill issues? Well, yes, but like even if I didn't, I always like things that make my life easier. So I like Glacial Chafe. See you later, Nozomi. Thanks for stopping by. Mm-mm-mm-mm. We'll see, guys. Actually, when should Hiyuki should get? She's not gonna get a drip market for a while. Yeah, never mind. It's gonna be a while before we get a Hiyuki drip, probably. I mean, maybe we see her in the 3.2 quest. That would be really good. But if we don't, and it's maybe like locked to the second half, we'll see how that goes. I'm tired of getting blue balled. I just want to see what she looks like already. Oh yeah, 3.2 is like, oh my god. Listen, I don't pay attention to this shit, but I imagine, dude, on 3.2, the oh my god, look at how bad Wuwa sales are argument or discussion is gonna come up again, and people are gonna be talking about that shit for weeks probably. Like that is a dead patch for Wuwa. Oh my god, even worse. It's second half Luke transitioning into 3.2 solo banner Sigrika. Oh my god. This is about to be a terrible 2 months for this game. Yeah, 3.3 and 3.4 will bring the revenue back. Cyberpunk collab plus anniversary. Phoebe solo second half. uh, that shit's selling triple cardboard, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Wuwa didn't even hit like 10 milli. Like I'm predicting like 7 million, dude. 8 million on those that fucking revenue chart. It's about to be terrible. I am actually like what I'm most curious in how well they'll sell is what's it called? Yang Yang. Yang Yang SP. Some people take revenue shit too seriously. The reason why revenue discussions never matters, you'll notice this a lot from people who really care about revenue arguments. They think that if you aren't making like 20 million plus every single month, that your game is going to EOS. Like they all think this. They all think that these games need tens of millions to be able to maintain the game and make a profit, which is just so wrong. It's disgusting. Like these gachas are so overpaid for what they put out. At least the biggest ones. Yao Guang didn't get pushed enough in the story because they couldn't change the story fast enough, dude. Like, Anon Leaks already talked about this. Originally, Sparksy was the main push of 4.0, and she was the first half banner. So that's why when you play the 4.0 story, you'll realize it's like all about Sparksy. Like, damn near the entire story is focused on Sparksy, not Yao Guang. Oh, Yang Yang. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, I was like, oh, this is kind of obvious, but yeah. Yang Yang, yeah. Yang Yang is like, I mean, this game just has this issue, bro. They almost never bring back older characters. It is like they hate bringing back older characters in this game. Like the only time you really speak with Yang Yang is legit in these messages. Like she'll send messages randomly through the mail, and you'll see like Yang Yang. 99% of the player base doesn't read that shit or look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even know they're getting sent messages from Yang Yang. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. What should have been a short stream ended up being like a normal one or even longer. I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Good luck on any of your polls.